Hello everyone, welcome to Trackside with Tom on Steel Highway. I am very pleased to be back online with you here again this afternoon. You're going to have to give me just one moment here. I seem to have forgotten my beverage of choice. I didn't have my Mountain Dew cracked open yet. But it is good to see everybody here this afternoon. Very pleased to be online live. And I've got some fun things planned for today. So let's see who we've got online. We've got Firefighter Marky D, hello. Willis5, yes, I have you added back as a mod now. Tex Judy, hello, and thank you for being a member. Todd Beers 7738, how are you doing today? 101 Moose Fan, thank you for being a member and supporting the channel as well. Pork Belly, another one of our mods, I think hanging out mostly at Fort Madison. CJ Compton, hello. Railfan 216, hello everyone. Tim Bink, good to see you as well. ADT 1982, good afternoon everybody. Always thrilled to see everyone around on Trackside with Tom. So, we are going to, I'm going to make sure I have the right thing displayed here. There we go. We are going to North Platte today. And let me just tell you, I honestly believe that if we really wanted to, we could spend an entire episode on North Platte. But that is not what we're going to do. We are, however, going to enjoy this view of cars getting shoved over the hump down into the bowl today as we get started. And, you know, maybe if I change this, I'm pretty sure we can do that. Yeah, that's going to clean up the image quite a bit. So that'll work well. Lots of action at North Platte today. One of the things that I want to talk about today at North Platte, and it's actually showing on the screen right now, is kind of how we got the North Platte location in the first place. Because I think this is a story that is worth telling. First off, as you can see on the banner right now, Spring Creek Model Trains is our sponsor for the North Platte Golden Spike camera. And it looks like we might need to set this, I'm pretty sure this is just, literally, pardon me, scrolling one banner. It's supposed to be scrolling multiple banners. So I'd probably better get that fixed here quick. While I'm doing that, yes, hello Tex Judy and Jeff Fife 1210, new camera locations coming. Always new camera locations coming. I can't always share all the details, but there are in fact new camera locations on the way. Oh, I see what the problem is. All right, we're going to have to get this fixed. But I see exactly what the problem is now. So, we're going to leave that alone for the moment, because I am going to get in here, and it looks like Joseph is in here. He's been logged in for 10 minutes, but I'm going to take over the North Platte cam. So, my apologies, Joseph. I'm going to disconnect you, and we're going to take a tour around North Platte for a little bit. Some of the things to look around here at in North Platte, we're going to go to, first off, we're looking at the main hump yard here. We've got the retarders, we've got cars rolling into the bowl tracks. This is the eastbound classification. eastbound classification side that we have going here. And oh, it looks like there's some maintenance away guys out there walking around as well. But we're just going to go through our presets. We have a very nice view of the engine facilities over here. We actually see there's a Canadian Pacific. Is that an, I think that's an ES 4400 that's sitting down there on the service track. Definitely a Canadian Pacific engine. I do like seeing these standard cab EMDs down here on the service tracks. I know that the UP is using a whole variety of SD40Ns, SD38s. There's Jeeps in there, Jeep 40s for sure. MP15s I know that run around sometimes. And some of the other rebuilds that they have running through here. But you can see there's some standard cab EMDs over here. There's a couple down here on the right. And then it looks like there's, oh yeah, and the DRGW Heritage Unit, the 1989, that's right over there on this, I don't know if this is like a ready service track or what it is exactly, but you can see the Rio Grande Heritage Unit over there on the side as well. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff for sure that is in the diesel shops. If we go back to that original view, what you are going to see is that they'll have pairs of standard cab EMDs that'll be doing the pullback and hump tower jobs. And then they also have what I think that, and I got to remember what the name of it is. I think they call it the Shepherd's Leap. But it's this track that circles around the side, and then you can see the pair of locomotives that are going over top of the main lines. And gosh, it looks like there's at least 3, maybe 4 container trains down there, plus what looks like a loaded coal train. There's an awful lot of action down there. Looking down into past the bowl and into these tracks that are on the main line. So always interesting stuff looking around there. We're gonna continue our tour around the yard. Oh, well, this is the zoomed out version. That was the zoomed in that we had just a minute ago. And this is zoomed out a little further, but it gives you an idea. So the main lines or the run-through tracks go kind of through the middle of the yard. And then we have classification yard on one side and engine shop on one side, and then you can see way back on the back there's yard tracks clear off to the north side as well, on the opposite side of the main, or I should say the several mains that have been here. And looking down in here, like you can see a westbound train right here that has a couple engines on it ready to head out. And then you've got another coal train here. You've got another container train back in the background. You've got all kinds of traffic, either waiting to go or waiting for a new crew, waiting for engines to be serviced, whatever the case is. But that gives you kind of a wider angle view looking to the west. And then this is kind of zoomed in, but you can see that there are some servicing facilities on the north side as well You can kind of just make it out, but where that truck is crossing through the fuel area, there's a fuel depot there, there's a sand tower, and then there's also this scaffolding along here separating the tracks. I believe that this is what they use for, and I don't know the exact term for it, but I think that I've heard it referred to as like running service tracks, where they leave the power on the train, service, and then continue on. Like they literally just pull up to these service racks, service the power, and then keep them moving without ever taking the power off of the train at all. And now that it's zoomed in, you can also see there's some fuel and lube oil stations down here. I mean, it is like basically a whole nother service area just on the other side of the yard. So if we move on to our next location, this is looking kind of across the middle of the yard, and you can just barely see a train crawling through on one of the run-through tracks. I believe that when this catches up, what you're going to see is that this is some kind, it's pardon me, empty coal train going through there, and then you have a loaded coal train. Just this side of it, you have a container train behind it. So it's something where this is another area of these run-through tracks where you're seeing that trains that are just literally getting a new crew and continuing on to their next location. Moving on, we're going to go down to the front here now, and we're going to look at oh shoot, there we go. Now I've got it. So now we're looking at some locomotives that are waiting to be serviced, I believe. All of these PTZs, yeah, these are all labeled. So what we're looking at now, this is preset 7. So these are some locomotive, I don't know if these are storage tracks or if they are if these are actually waiting to be serviced. But you do see that there's some of these locomotives, they have the older flag scheme on them, with the big flag on the side. And then there's also a crane here over on the left. And then the next stop is going to be at the West Hump. Alan Hunt, good to see you. Alan Hunt, UP 1989, arrived North Platte on 210. And thank you for joining as a member, Alan Hunt. Always appreciate you. We are gonna spend a little bit of time going through some of the new membership levels that we have. And let's see here. Oh yeah, Binky. Hopin 111 YT, thank you. Appreciate that as always. Always love the comments. So this is what's called the West Hump Yard, which is basically they're humping cars, even though it's on the east side of the yard, for westbound trains. Rio Grande, yeah, we showed that in the engine service area a little bit earlier. Yes, that is in fact where it was. All right. The next one we're going to is East. This one is called East Route, which is basically where are they running through eastbound trains. And any train that's going through the yard is going to be kind of snaking and weaving its way in between yard tracks, no matter where it goes. In this case, this is apparently, this would be eastbound traffic. And there you see the actual Golden Spike Union Pacific Tower as well. This is the company tower, not the observation tower. And we have actually a westbound train. I don't know if this is being doubled up or what exactly the plan is. UP 8602, which was arrived North Platte January 3rd. Okay. Well, thank you for the update there, Alan. Appreciate that as always. Inline train repair. Yes. So this is what we were looking at a little bit earlier, or some of the same area anyway, where it's literally leave the power on the train and keep it moving, or get it serviced and then keep it moving. And that's what that inline train repair refers to. And we can actually see there's the rear DPU on that coal train that's finally managed to snake his way through. And what do we have here? We have right down the foreground, I believe this is an SD40N, the 3005. If someone wants to confirm that with us. Oh, and there's a Trackmobile. Look at that. He's got to be pulling an empty hopper. But that would be Trackmobile moving a couple cars in the car repair area. Wow, those have got to all be empties. He's got a hold of 3, 4. That's either a very powerful Trackmobile, or he's got like a lot of momentum going, or maybe there's something pushing from the other end. Then it looks like we also have this is a cow-calf setup, or a mother and slug. We definitely, wow, he has got a lot of cars that he's pulling through there. And, oh, and there goes a switch engine going off to the east there in the background. So this 3005 and I can't tell for sure. That might be a 5106. And then what do we have going by here? We have something going by in the foreground as well. We'll try to zoom in a little more. See what we got here. We've got I mean, this is the great thing about North Platte though. Like, there is so much activity all the time that it's literally impossible to be able to tell everything that's going on all at once. So we have the oh, that's a 3. Okay. So it's 3005 and 3006, and then we have the 7853 and 5598. Wow, a couple of ratty looking units on a westbound. That middle one, the 5598, looks like it might have had a radiator fire or an exhaust fire at some point. And then the 5473, so all GE consist, and possibly doubling up a auto rack train here in the front. All right. So we're going to keep moving now because we've been blocked from what I was curiously looking at. Westbound receiving. So this is going to zoom us out a ways. But westbound receiving, and we're going to watch also an eastbound train either doubling up or departing. Those lovely motors are inbound. Oh, PRNP 15. Well, that makes perfect sense. So PRNP refers to the proviso to North Platte, and 15 just refers to the fact that it was originated on the 15th. So it's yesterday's train that probably departed to Proviso early in the morning, went through a couple crew changes in Iowa, and now it's here in North Platte the next afternoon. And so this is our westbound receiving side. And as we look around, we can see, like, this would make sense. If it's westbound receiving, then we've got a westbound train that just arrived, and he's probably going to start yarding his train. I'm going to zoom in on this. This is something that always fascinates me a little bit. And we have some more power running through on a track that I believe that I don't think he's going to be headed to the service area. I wonder if he's going over toward, it's called the sheep jump. That's what it is. The sheep jump. That's what it's called. And we'll go back to that in a little bit. But when we zoom this in, so these coal hoppers, you see how they're all different heights and sizes and shapes? These are actually UP system coal hoppers. And for some customers, the UP will make their system coal hoppers available, I'm guessing, rather than leasing private cars. And so sometimes you'll see C&W put cars in here, sometimes you'll see Mopac cars, DRGWs, just about anything. But these coal hoppers, they look like they all have UP shields on them. But it is interesting to see that this is made up as probably a whole set, and the hoppers are going to be captive UP locations where they would originate at a mine on the UP and be delivered to a power plant on the UP as well. Probably a good example of that, actually very close to home here, is the Prairie Creek power plant in Cedar Rapids, which is pretty close to where I live. And Prairie Creek uses these UP system hoppers as well. The only interchange that happens with them is that they have I believe it's called a last mile agreement, where the Cedar Rapids and Iowa City Railroad, the Crandic, hands those off to the power plant. But aside from that, it's pretty much just a end-to-end UP move. Also, there's a N&W grain hopper, it looks like, in the background as well, tied onto the BNSF auto rack. So that's kind of a interesting catch. Next, we're going to go to the sheep jump. And this is a term that I had not heard until the guys at North Platte had explained this to me. But this is literally a track that has been constructed so that power can get out of the service area and across the mains and over to the north end of the yard without having to cross over all the main lines. And so you can see how it just kind of makes this big loop. It goes up over top of the mains and then comes down on the other side. And if we follow this around a little bit, what you'll see is, and there's going to be some delay, but it comes out close to where this service area is, and the receiving and run-through tracks are on the north side of the yard. So if we give this a minute, we'll be able to see it'll get caught up. But while we're waiting, yes, Bath Gone and Summer 3 Bay. That's right. Some of those are so the Bath Gone refers to the cars that literally have a rounded bottom and they have to be turned in a dumper in order to unload them. Whereas the 3 bays have gates on the bottom that are manually opened, and the gates open and the coal all and it's angled and the coal all pours out through the bottom, and then they close them back up when it's empty. So that's what he's talking about with the difference between bath gons and 3-bays. But anyway, that is the sheep jump, for those of you that were curious about what the name of that track is. But it's literally a track that allows power to move from one side of the yard to the other without fouling any of the main lines. And then we have our final thing that we're going to take a look at here is the wider view. Oh, there's a fuel truck driving off to the side there as well. Just the wider view of the whole west end of the yard. And it really does give you a little bit of a feel of just how expansive this whole operation is. You know, you look at, there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 overhead doors that have tracks going into them to bring locomotives into the building. I don't even know I couldn't even begin to count the number of locomotives that are sitting there waiting their turn to go into the building. I'm sure that the tracks inside the building have locomotives on them as well. And then you also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 service tracks outside the building, because the locomotives going into the building are going in for some kind of repair. The service tracks are for the ones that just need fuel, lube oil, sand, whatever they need to just get them back out on the road, not major repairs. But if you look at this, you've got from the engine facility, or the engine house with all the tracks going in the overhead doors, the outdoor service facility, the hump yard, which is just one of 2 hump yards, the sheep's jump, the main lines that are in the top of this camera here, and then all of the yard tracks on the far side. I mean, this is just an incredibly massive operation. And this is just looking to the west. There's almost this much yard also looking off to the east as well. So, we are going to do a little bit of trivia here this afternoon. And I am curious, while we're sitting here watching North Platte do its thing, who wants to take a guess as to what are, let's even say, what are the top 10 most viewed cameras on Steel Highway? I am curious who can come up with a list of the top 10. And just start throwing them in the comments. Ooh, we have a fly walking across the camera lens. And while I'm doing this, we'll get caught up on some comments. Gene Crawford, H7J, Highway 84 Storage, Blackshear, Georgia. Interesting. Well, I'll probably look it up. I mean, I'm at least curious. I'll admit that Georgia might be a little bit outside of my scope at the moment, being able to put together a trip to go that far to put in a camera, but pardon me, I will definitely take a look at it and see what it's all about. So, Fort Madison, Chehalis, not sure about the other 8. Peck Park. Interestingly, Peck Park is not in the top 10. Now, Fort Madison is either number 1 or number 2, and it's kind of been going back and forth the last couple of days. Fort Madison is either number 1 or number 2, so you got to figure out who it's exchanging places with on a consistent basis. Chehalis is number 6. So yes, good work. So we'll have number 1.5. We'll call Fort Madison, like a tie for first. And we have Chehalis, which is number 6. Griffith, Indiana. Another great guess. Griffith, Indiana is number 9. So nice work picking that one up. So good work, Joseph, and good work, John Welsh. Coming up with those. Let's see if we have a couple more. North Platte is number 1 versus Fort Madison. Yes, North Platte West has been running neck and neck with Fort Madison for the whole time that the channel has been back functioning in its normal manner. Yes. So we have Fort Madison, we have North Platte West, we have Griffith, and we have Chehalis. So we've knocked out 4 of them so far. Flossmoor. You know, we just got Flossmoor back online. Sometimes that does run. The North Flossmoor cam had run in the top 10 previously. I don't think it's going to anymore, but we just got it back online. So it's hard to say whether or not it's going to jump back in the top 10 now. Carroll, Iowa. No, I'm sad to report Carroll, Iowa is not in the top 10. Chicago Powerhouse. All right. So we're going to have to qualify that. And because you threw that out there, I'm actually going to point out both of these. The Chicago Powerhouse East camera is running number 5. And the Chicago Powerhouse CTA camera is currently running at number 10. Well, thank you for the support of watching the Carroll camera every day. I do appreciate that. Mendota, another really good guess. However, not a top 10 contender. So, but good idea. I do like where you're going with that. Let's, you know what? Let's actually take this. Oh, I don't think we're going to have any. We don't have any hump tower action at the moment. That's a little bit sad. I think we're going to have to go over to. We'll go over to the other. Well, we'll at least watch some trains run through, I guess. But yeah, at the moment, there's nothing lined up to do any classification on the west hump tower. So we'll jump over here to look at the east hump and see if they're going to start classifying cars there. Better placement in Mount Pleasant. Yes, at some point we are going to move that camera equipment back across the street. However, it has not happened yet. We're kind of waiting for, on the permission of the owners of the coffee shop, obviously, but we're also waiting for kind of a little bit nicer weather. Let's see here. Forgotten Star or Newport? Nope, it's neither of those. But again, good guesses. Columbus, Wisconsin. Nope, that is not it. Chicago Powerhouse is how you found Steel Highway. Well, that's very exciting. East Dubuque. No, East Dubuque is also not top 10. However, Vader, Washington. Very good. Coming in at number 7. Excellent. Excellent guess there, Text Judy. Hello, Central Iowa Rail Productions. Definitely appreciate it. Ryan Winan, good to see you as well. And good, that means they're working. All right. So for the rest of the top 10, do you guys just want me to tell you? Or do you want to keep making guesses? You've made some pretty good guesses. And definitely I have appreciated the guesses that you've made. Rails West Museum in Council Bluffs. I have, in fact, talked to the folks at Rails West Museum in Council Bluffs. I would like to imagine that I think they're interested, but we don't have any plans in the near future to put anything in. No. Let's see here. Belle Plaine, no. Radio feed at Galesburg. Isn't there already a radio feed in Galesburg? For some reason, when I researched that, I thought somebody else was already hosting a rail feed in Galesburg. Olympia Invader. Tim Bing. Good work. Coming up with Olympia. Olympia is number 3, and as we just talked about, Vader is number 7. So we've got number 1, right now anyway, North Platte West. Number 2, Fort Madison. Number 3, Olympia. Number 4, North Platte East. Number 5, the C&W East. Number 6 is Chehalis. Number 7, Vader. Number 9, Griffith. Number 10, C&W CTA. And I'm going to give you number 8. Number 8 is Slinger. Slinger, Wisconsin is the number 8 most popular camera on Steel Highway. So, that is our top 10. So, I don't know, a little bit of trivia. I thought you guys might find that interesting. A cam in Peoria to capture, a great question is, where would you put a camera that would capture everything in Peoria? That's, it's a perfectly good idea. Where would you put a camera that you could get every move that goes through Peoria? Because I don't know for certain that location necessarily exists. Capital of Washington State. Yeah, fun info. Thank you. So, the other thing that I wanted to address today is kind of the elephant in the room, if you will. So, on December... Oh, there goes the hump set. Or the slug set. Yeah, Peoria would need multiple cameras to get everything. That's 100% correct. So, on December 30th, literally 6 weeks ago, the Steel Highway YouTube channel went offline. It turns out that the channel was taken over by cryptocurrency pirates, and they started running a crypto live stream on the channel. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of the backstory into all this and kind of how we ended up where we are now. So these crypto pirates took over the channel, changed my passwords, changed all my backup information, and I was not able to get in and I was not able to access the email address that's connected to the channel. None of it. So, they removed all the mods, but thankfully they did not remove the managers from the channel. So, Tyler, who's the video editor that puts together all the clips that we see, Tyler was able to get in as a manager and add me as a manager, but then he was also able to shut down that live stream. However, we realized immediately YouTube was probably going to shut down the channel, for community violations once their algorithms caught up with everything. And so on that night of January 30th, I contacted Rich over at Northern Transcon and asked him if I could move my cameras, my live streams, over to his channel to be able to preserve the live streams. And he was good for that. So that's exactly what we ended up doing. And once we got that set up and we came to an agreement of what it was going to look like, then I moved, and Evan Weber actually helped me and got all of the live streams moved from Steel Highway over to Northern Transcon. And sure enough, the very next morning, Steel Highway was completely gone. The channel was completely blocked by YouTube for community violations, which is what we predicted. And then, thankfully, I had gotten all of the live streams switched over before that happened. So I went through 3 full weeks of back and forth with YouTube trying to figure out how to recover the channel. And finally, after the 3rd week, YouTube was able to come to me and say, okay, we've researched it. We don't think that you're at fault here. We're going to help you reset your channel. So all of that came about on approximately January 20th. In the meantime, Rich and I had kind of negotiated out how, because we had been talking for a while about what it would look like for the Northern Transcon cameras to be added to Steel Highway. And so, January 20th, I got the channel back, and then a couple days after that was when the folks at North Platte came to me and said that, all right, we're ready to go live. Because, again, at North Platte, I'd been talking to them for about a month about what live streaming from North Platte was going to look like. So we got the North Platte cameras online. I think we got them online something like January 21st or so. And then we made a plan to move all of the rest of the cameras over from NTR back to Steel Highway and do that, which we did on January 31st, which meant that it was like a clean break at the end of a month, because that's how YouTube calculates their payouts, is on calendar months. So that worked out all right, and we were able to get everything moved over and get all of the live streams back onto the Steel Highway YouTube channel. And so that kind of brings you up to date with where we are right now. And now, having brought those back over, I did also take that opportunity to revamp all of the membership levels. And I know that Jeff had some questions about the membership levels, and that's actually something that I want to address right now. So we're going to jump around here just a little bit. I'm going to go over to this, and then I'm going to go here, and we're going to go here, and we're going to talk about the YouTube channels, or the YouTube memberships. So, if you remember, the old membership levels all correlated with different steam locomotives. So these new membership levels, all correlate with diesel locomotives. So we have the EMDF3, a classic design, and that is something that is $4.99 a month, and you get the basic stuff. We are going to start doing, so there's one members only live chat, which is on Trempolo. There's going to be members only live streams. Probably going to start picking those up next month, if I had to guess. Emojis and loyalty badges, those are things that are pretty basic membership levels, but that's what you get with the EMDF3. And I wanted to, even so, I have 6 membership levels, right? And I alternated between EMD and GE, even though this is Alco. For those of you who don't know, when Alco started making diesels, they were contracting with GE for all the electronics in the diesels. So at Alco RS1 level, which again, classic, we love the RS1 road switcher. That's where you get access to the link for the Discord channel. And we do have a Steel Highway Discord channel. I am working on trying to make it a little more active place. But basically, it's like getting you some access to just to be able to chat with some of the mods are on there. There are some other members there. There are some of the camera hosts that are on there. And so just getting you just getting people the basic ability to chat, but go a little bit behind the scenes and get some information. The EMD Jeep 7. This one, the Jeep 7 was kind of known as the steam engine killer. The F3s definitely started replacing, and especially the F3s and the E units too, definitely started replacing passenger power, steam passenger power. But these EMD Jeep 7s is where they started really killing off steam locomotives in freight service as well. So for the EMD Jeep 7 level, which is $9.99 a month, you are going to get priority replies to comments, and you're also going to get member shout-outs. You're going to get member shout-outs in terms of being able to get recognition for being a member. And I try to do that, like when people join the live chat, I try to recognize that as well. And you'll notice also as we go along, you're always getting the perks from the previous levels. So like at EMD Jeep 7, you're getting the access to the Discord channel as well. You're getting the access for members only live streams, members only live chats, on and on. All right, so the GEU 30-C, $24.99 a month. So the members only polls is going to be related to what kind of future content we're going to do. And I think that next week, one of the things we're going to talk about on Steel Highway Trackside with Tom is that we're going to start talking about what it looks like or what some future content is going to look like on the channel. Because I actually have some pretty exciting ideas that I want to share with people. And I'd like to get your feedback. So that's what the members only polls are going to be, is going to be looking at those ideas for future content, and then discounted merchandise, which I have to get the merchandise store back up and going. And then EMD SD40-2, early access to new videos. So once a month, and sometimes more often than that, but we have videos that are uploaded that release periodically, one per week. However, the videos, when Tyler uploads them, can be made accessible through early access to members. And so if you want to be able to watch some of the highlights and some of the videos that time-lapse videos, for instance, those can be accessed early through the EMD SD40-2 level. And then the highest level, the GE 9-44CW, or GE-9 as it's sometimes known, this is going to be gameplay. And this is something else that I want to get some feedback on, is in terms of doing in terms of doing the gameplay, I have some ideas for things that I think are interesting, but I want to get your feedback on what games, what railroad related PC games that you guys are interested in as well. So that's kind of my sales pitch, or my my trying to get you guys excited about all the things that are coming. And I think next week we're going to do an entire program on ideas for future content, ideas for where the channel can go forward, and content that I think that can be really interesting for all of the viewers here at Steel Highway. The last thing that I want to do before we leave, and I'm going to throw this out here as a poll once I get this, I'm going to get this pulled up. We're going to go to Fort Madison, and we're actually going to watch the tail end of an eastbound Z train head across the bridge. But I'm going to create a poll, and I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts on the new Steel Highway logo? Do you think of the new Steel Highway logo? And we're going to have love it or bring back the old logo. And I'm going to start the poll right now. And we've got about 5 minutes left in the program. For those of you that haven't seen it, you can look up in the top right. I don't have the logo rolled out across all of the different locations and cameras yet. But Buddy Burton actually created this new logo for us. Thank you, Buddy, for your efforts in that regard. I am going to bump this back up. There we go. And make this a little bit higher resolution. Well, yeah, I guess I could have included a third option of indifferent, but it looks like it's pretty decisive. We have almost everybody loves the new logo, so that's fantastic. It's hard to tell the last letter is an R. Yes, when it's zoomed out, it's kind of hard, I agree. But up close and big, it is real obvious. So, all right. Well, we have a pretty definitive margin here. 80-20, 75-25, somewhere in that neighborhood of people who really like the new logo. So, yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody's input. We are going to wrap up the live stream now. Oh, we have a westbound coming across. We'll give this just a moment here. Wait for this westbound to come into view at Fort Madison. However, I definitely appreciate everybody's input, and I really am looking forward to some of the really exciting ideas I have for what Steel Highway is going to look like. Especially, once I get everything kind of situated with the new NTR cameras, and then to be able to kick off some of these new ideas probably late in the spring or early summer is my plan. Let's get caught up on our comments here. That's the one I'll do, is going to ask you about Discord. Yes, Joseph, hoping to help out Tom set up the Discord server. Yep, that's something that is definitely on my to-do list. Thank you, Joseph. After you buy a hat, yeah. Oh, that's something else too. The company store is going to be totally revamped as well. Trains. Oh yeah, John Welsh. All right, you're talking about the trains simulator. Yes. Nice PB. Yeah, don't care. Hard to tell the last letter is an R. Yes, definitely an upgrade. Westbound Uncle Pete. Yes. Eagles, otters, and minks. All right. Well, we have the westbound UP stack train, trackage rights train that is pulling into Fort Madison. We're going to watch the engines drop in here and split the signals. I'm going to close the poll. We got 20 votes. That's about half the people that are online right now. A pretty decisive 81-19 margin. So thank you everyone for voting in the poll. Definitely appreciate that. And there you can see the results. And it looks like UP just pulling into town here, and maybe the, is that the 80-10 that's in the lead? Or 80-16, I can't tell 100% for sure, but he is pulling down toward the Marina Crossing. He's got 4 motors, 80-16, that is what it is. 80-16. Got wings on the lead unit. And 4 motors running elephant style, all running forward. That third motor looks like it's a CNW rebuild based on the location of the number boards. But all... Wait, do we have all GEs? No, I think we got one EMD in the back. So the 80-16 cruising down toward the depot. Oh yeah, that third one, or the fourth unit, definitely in EMD. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and end the program. Yeah, Train Simulator 6 is a great game too. Appreciate that. Joliet, Illinois to City of Industry. Yes. All right. Have a fantastic week, everybody. I definitely appreciate all of the support, and we will be back next Monday again with another episode of Trackside with Tom. So have a fantastic afternoon.